I started wondering if I wasn't getting stale. And I went to the first seminars that do on some of this stuff, technology and blended learning, and I was a little resistant. But when I realized they weren't forcing me to change, but giving me tools that would help me become better at what I really wanted to do. And if that's to stand and deliver and teach, which is probably my primary method, but then it frees me up to think, are they getting what I want them to get at a higher level of learning? I can get them to test the storyline. That's easy to do. I can get them to test basic principles. Tithing is 10%. But what do they feel about tithing? It's allowed me to worry about the deeper learning, the higher level, the stuff that isn't tested, basically. I teach large numbers of students every semester. Prior to them coming to class, they have a reading assignment. They find that on the schedule on Learning Suite. They also find a link to a reading quiz, and they have a limited amount of time to answer the 5 or 6 questions. I think we all have teaching styles. I think it has changed me. I think it's caused me to reflect more on the learner rather than on what's being taught. The learner can take care of so much outside of class that then in class, my hope going into class is, what do these students need to hear? What do they need to feel? What can I use or do or say that will provide that for them? I still mic up. I still teach what I feel is important to teach. But I think it's caused me to think of ways to incorporate them into the learning process more fully. Prep time was actually quite beneficial to cause me to step back as a longtime professor and kind of look at exactly what I wanted them to learn. And so I found it not difficult. It was time consuming, but it was part of what I do for prep anyway. I actually found myself becoming more energized as a professor as I created the online things that my students would participate in. I think we have learned, even in distance learning, that indeed it is beneficial to have someone standing there who's done the hard work to get to know something that the students want to know. And so I don't think it's ever going to eliminate the professor. And I think it's just going to free the professor to emphasize what their passion is. I don't feel that we'll ever be replaced by technology, but I think it's allowed me as a professor to even become better. I'm there to teach. If I can use tools to aid me in that, and if I can worry most about my students' learning and not how I'm going to grade them, then I think it does allow me to focus on learning and teaching rather than on grading and performance.